uniforms, the Knicks in the gray home white uniforms. And that center circle, 82, Kai Sotto for the Knicks. He's opposed by 57, Charles Bediaku. Both of these young men could be seeing each other down the road, maybe on an NBA floor, maybe on a Division I floor. Both highly recruited young athletes. Sotto playing his high school ball here in the United States. Bediaku playing his high school ball as well in the States, member of Team Canada. It's going to be a good look at the future of basketball in the championship game.
Man, this is so exciting, and you could tell that they're enjoying this moment. They're a little bit nervous. There's some butterflies in their stomachs, but they know that this could be a defining moment in their life. This could be the moment when somebody take a look at them and really lay a path forward for their future. This is a big deal.
Patiently waiting the opening tip. Thrilled you're joining us throughout the world on the FIBA YouTube channel. You can follow us utilizing the hashtag BWBGlobal as we conclude the 6th annual Basketball Without Borders Global Camp here in Chicago as part of NBA All-Star Weekend. The bleachers still getting filled with scouts from across the NBA.
And we have a temperamental shot clock on the left-hand side of the court. They've been trying to fix before the game gets started. There is a lot of technician over there making sure that this has been resolved expeditiously.
So we may just use one shot clock on the far end of the floor. That would be the front court right, as we again patiently wait for the opening tip to get underway, and monitoring the FIBA YouTube channel during the live stream over the course of this weekend. All parts of the world are glued to watching this global games, really to see the future from countries like the Philippines, Australia, Canada, Estonia. It's great to see. We've got Germany, Mali, Lithuania, Senegal represented in this game alone as the opening tip-off of the final game of the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp is underway. The Bulls in the dark blue uniforms control the first possession. Tamare Wiggness with a nice pass inside. Flying high was the Canadian Benedict Mathrain.
And Benedict Mathrain really starting off right where he left off in the last game. He has been playing at an amazing clip, really making a play for being the best player in this camp.
Knicks with their first possession, Kai Sotto. Quick dump pass to the Brazilian, and a corner three is off the mark from, we'll get that number again for you in just a second. That was 79, Owen Chu from China. Kai Sotto tried to dribble behind the back, lost possession, and the Bulls get it right back. Flying high, changing his direction, seeing Sotto was right in front of him, was Benedict Mathrain. That is difficult when you have a defender in front of you and at the last second you change the direction.
I mean, Benedict Mathrain, I think learning how to use his body in the air, that is a skill, again, that is so difficult to develop for young players, because you have to be able to anticipate what the defense is going to do and then counter while you're in the air. Pretty remarkable. I think he's really making a play for MVP of this camp.
14:30 left in this championship game. Wiggness, aggressive, driving inside, had the ball stolen away from him, and instead they will rule a jump ball. Nice defense by Augustis Mashunonis from Lithuania, whose father is in the Basketball Hall of Fame, class of 2014. With an outstanding career in the NBA. Inadvertent whistle, though, reset right in front of the scores table. So the Knicks in their second trip inside, intended for Sotto, off of his fingertips. They'll say last touched by the Bulls, and 57, Charles Bediaku.
And Sotto has to really drop his body a little bit and point towards the ground. He wants that ball low, not too high where they can get a take on it.
Look out! That jam almost went through, but you heard the reaction from the crowd. That would have been something spectacular for Mothrain. You could just see the athleticism.
Benedict Matane, he's been playing at an amazing clip all weekend.
Shot clock was winding down, and they will rule a foul on Owen Chu. Owen Chu from China, number 79. He's 6 feet 9 inches tall. Was born back in July 1st of 2002. At the free throw line will be 57. Charles Bediaku from Canada, ranked 24th in the recruiting class of 2021 here in the United States. He trains the free throw. Experimental rules with free throws. One shot will equal 1, 2, or 3 points until the final minute of each quarter. And Kai Sotto almost had the jam. There's Filipino fans in attendance here in Chicago who almost gave a standing ovation until they negated the dunk.
I'm not sure. I like that dunk. I like the fact that he was aggressive going to the basket. Might have been a little bit in the cylinder, but really great attempt.
With the right hand, Mothrain missing. Here come the Knicks in transition. They trail 6-0. The young Lithuanian driving. That's off the mark for Marciulonis. Alley-oop attempt and drive it down. The easy jam, converting for Samuel Oribi, the Nigerian.
And Samuel Oribi, has been a feature at Basketball Out Border Camp, but he's part of the academy system. And I've seen his game really mature over the years.
Soft landing on the right-handed jam for Benedict Mothrain, and an immediate timeout. The Bulls utilizing their length and speed to burst out to a 10-0 lead with 11:32 left in this first half of play.
And when you call a timeout when you only have 2 for the whole game, that means that there is a problem, right? So this is, the Bulls came out and they have been playing at a pretty amazing clip. And now that, I think a little bit the Knicks has to respond to that. And I think it's good because this is a championship game. They've been playing all weekend. This is a chance for them to be seen by all these people who came out to watch them, and even all the other guys are now around the floor watching. Right. This is an homage to all the people that are here today.
Final game of the global camp here in Chicago. We'll name an MVP as well before we're out this afternoon. Looking back at MVPs from the past, 2019, you had Dani Avdija, who now plays for Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Kai Sotto, the Philippine sensation. There are Philippine fans here in attendance who know about Kai Sotto, and there's his countrymen and women back home who are watching on the FIBA YouTube channel who I can hear the roars from across the globe.
And Kai Sotto, that's a pretty difficult move, very skilled. Clearly, he is a pretty outstanding player with a good skill set. I'm curious to see what his career is going to look like and where he's going to go.
Evan Perisovic missing the 3, youngster from Croatia. Sotto near the right baseline. Tried to post up the defender, and poking the ball out of play with Samuel Oribi. So the Knicks will get it right back. The running clock continues to move. 10:24 left in this first half. The youngster from China, Owen Chu, on the inbound. Juan Bagarain. Right wing 3, ring it up. One of the top recruits in the 2021 class, the Frenchman, Juan Bagarain. That's a name you're going to have to keep your eye on.
Yeah, Bagarain, you see him all through this weekend playing at a really high level. I know that he's seeing results where the ball is going into the basket.
6-point ball game, 12-6. Bulls with a 6-point lead. Knicks started to find their flow offensively. Chu missing a 3 from the left corner. Mothrain with the rebound. Almost tried to pass it to himself, it seemed, as he was going inside the lane. Rain, step back. Won't give him continuation, but if he would have made that, wow.
I mean, you see this kid right now and where he can go. His upside is incredible. I am not sure we've seen it yet. He is going to be an intriguing player as his career unfolds.
Sotto whistled for the foul, reaching on Charles Bediaku. 6-point ball game with 9 minutes to go in this first half. The Bulls have possession in the near court. Wigness. Bediaku had it stolen away from him. Loose ball. It's recovered by the Bulls. Mothrain thought about the three. And we'll get a whistle for a foul. Final game of the tournament. All eyes are on the center court as we wind down the global camp here from Chicago. The full hockey line change coming in as both coaches want to distribute minutes evenly to these guys, knowing it's their final game of the camp.
And it's so important, right? Because a team is a team, and you want everybody to have an opportunity to impact the game. And I think it's important to have some parity in that.
Chedek Sao. Pass going cross court, catch and shoot three is off the mark for Todorovic. Second chance opportunity. That is short for Esteban Rocho, the youngster from Mexico.
And the Bulls are just being ferocious on the offensive glass and really giving their team second and third opportunities. That is, as a coach, that is just a sight for sore eyes.
Both teams being instructed by assistant coaches from both New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls. So when you got to tip your cap to the Bulls and their scouting here this weekend at the camp.
I feel like they have a comparative advantage. What do you think? Like home cooking?
Home cooking, I think so. I would agree with you there. And you had mentioned a couple of days ago about how intense the draft would be. Having seen it firsthand on Friday at the start of the camp, all of these coaches, their competitive juices started flowing. They wanted to pick the right group of guys and girls to turn out a victory.
Well, the funny thing is everybody start off, we're all here for the kids and everything is great, which is true. There's no question. But somewhere along the line, the competitive juice kicks in and they all want to win and they want the best players. I've gotten texts like, who do you think? Who's your top three? I'm like, I'm paying for that. You need to pay for my services.
Bulls have possession with 7 minutes to go in this first half. Rocho. Todorovic, and the Serbian travel. Think back to a fellow Serbian in this Basketball Without Borders camp, Nikola Mirotic, who now plays for Barcelona, spent time with the Chicago Bulls, a highly touted European talent. He's now playing for one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Nice soft jumper that sinks through for 47. Jackie Chu from China, 6'6" small guard, considered a wing. Great score.
An intermediate game is really on point. I mean, they're stepping into that, taking a 15-foot jump shot so big.
Elbow jumper off the mark for 77, Jerry Ngopat from the Central African Republic. Another turnover. Here come the Bulls on the other end. Rocho off contact, one-handed no, gets his own putback off the right glass.
And Rocho having the presence of mind, finish a shot. Don't really take your eye off the ball until the ball goes to the basket. Really basketball one-on-one, and he was on point there.
You think about Mexicans in the NBA, first to come to mind is El Guado Nahara, who played with the Dallas Mavericks, and Rocho trying to carve his own path as a Mexican in professional basketball. He takes a spill, and we get a foul. The NBA G League next year will have a professional team in Mexico, so that's really carving the path for young men and women in Mexico who are playing basketball.
And Nahara, we had some really good fights in my career. But, and I think it speaks to where the academy game is going. We're in Mexico. We have an academy team for Latin America, two in China, one in Australia, one in India, one in Senegal. So you can see the trajectory of the NBA trying to really take this game global in a quick way.
Great steal, unable to get the putback. A good job defensively by the young Dominican Juan Mateo, who's currently playing in an academy in Spain. He's a part of the NBA Academy Latin America, and I saw him earlier this morning in one of the scrimmage games. He picked up a rebound. He jumped off the floor. Some would say he's undersized as a guard, but the way he was grabbing those boards, he was competing with some of the guys who are 6'10", 6'11". It's
amazing. The athleticism of these guys is extraordinary. No matter the size, they compete and they have it all.
Ocho very aggressive through a double team. He's rewarded with a shooting foul. 4-point ball game as the Knicks started off cold here in the early going. Good job defensively, and they find themselves within striking distance down a point.
And that's talk about a tactical timeout, really getting them going, bringing them together, taking a moment, relax, getting them back into play. And they, since the timeout, have been extraordinary. Talk about the quality of coaching at the bench as well.
Ocho made his 2-point free throw. 6-point affair. Inside, we get a whistle, and they're going to call the offensive foul.
Oh, I have a second of opinion.
How difficult is that for a young big inside, where you don't want to give up that offensive foul, but you're still trying to create space and get positioning?
And I think part of what you want to look at as a referee is whether or not he displaced the player or he went down and created space. There's a difference between creating space and moving a player out.
Speaking of creating space, Moussa Diabate took a dribble and delivered a nasty two-handed jam. 8-point game. Montero missing on a contested look off the left glass.
And Montero, that was some hops on that play, really giving himself a really great chance of dunking that ball.
Nice finish inside. You can hear the hard slap, but the finesse by the 6'9" power forward from France, Moussa Diabate.
And Diabate, what was extraordinary about that move, it was a progression almost, where he went from, okay, I don't have this, let me go to the next one, let me go to the third. He had about 3 moves in that play. That is so extraordinarily difficult to do at this stage, where you're not only mastering your primary move, you're thinking 2-3 moves ahead. And that progression is what it takes to be an elite basketball player. And there's no question where you see a guy like that in a camp like this. He is pretty extraordinary.
10-point ball game as the clock continues to run as we approach 2 minutes to go in this first half. Final game of the global camp. Good job defensively by Montero to get the steal. And his aggression allows for a free throw to come up for the Knicks, and getting set to shoot the free throw will be no free throws. Instead, they'll award an inbound in front of the Knicks bench.
I thought there was definitely a free throw for sure.
Foul was Adama Sonogo from Mali.
And Sonogo had a little control of the ball just for a second, but I think they thought that he didn't have full control.
Late pass from Montero forces the turnover. As we approach the 1-minute mark here in this first half, the final game of the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp. And they're going to reset the clock to 1 minute. So the running clock stops at 1 minute. And it's back to the normal rules as Todorovic gets some separation. Jumper is short from the left side.
I thought you were going to say old-fashioned rules.
What a dunk inside from Sonogo from Mali. 6 feet, 9 inches tall, has been in the United States for a couple of seasons playing high school basketball. 8-point game. Final 30 seconds. Right corner, rainbow jumper. Off the mark, rebound, second chance, no. Hitting the deck was Diabate. Wanted a foul, doesn't get the call. Diabate wanted a whistle earlier, now is whistled for the foul.
And that was clearly a frustration foul. The Abante thought, I got fouled, I got hammered. And then, as most young players do, they instantly react. And the referee usually catch the second act, not the first.
At the free throw lines, the German Luke von Sluten, 17 years of age. Played last summer at the Basketball Without Borders European camp in Latvia. As he sinks the first free throw. A one-shot free throw after the final minute goes back to the traditional free throw methods as von Sluten misses the second free throw. Great quickness by Orocho to find Chedek Sao with a fast transition bucket. 22-13 is our score. 4 seconds left and a final opportunity for the Bulls to close out the half. The Bulls will inbound in front of the Knicks bench. 4 seconds left. Von Sluten tried to steal the inbound, and he is whistled immediately.
And there's no question as the first half come to an end, what you see is really high quality basketball from guys who really want to be here, enjoy this stage, and it's putting on a show for all of us.
It's hard to believe 3 seconds will be 16 minutes away from this camp winding down. Just a fast weekend here in Chicago.
Indeed. It's a dizzying pace.
Before we step into the half, what's next for the Basketball Without Borders and the NBA Academy caps? Where are you guys headed to next?
Well, I think that what you're going to see is that what we try to do is really integrate the camp where there is already a pre-existing NBA activity. So be it the G League showcase, the Final Four. This summer there will be a big opportunity as well.
3 at the buzzer. Bank shot. He called it. I heard him. Gene Montero from the Dominican Republic closes out the first half with a banker.
Montero, man, I love the spunk of this kid, man. He comes out and he is putting on a show, man. I love this. When you have an opportunity, when you have a stage, you got to come out and just leave it all out there. And you see him doing that, taking the final shot and banking it home. And he called it.
Oh, he did call it. I heard him as he was in midair. He said bank shot. I heard it. How about the quickness? So there was 3 seconds left to go from the full length of the floor to midcourt to put up a shot like that.
No, that's amazing. That is high quality basketball and court awareness, knowing time and shoot situation. Impressive.
Donald Foyle, Julio Rousseau, thrilled you're joining us as we get set for the second half here from Chicago at the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp. Next year's All-Star Game, I hate to break it to you, it's still in the cold in Indianapolis, but the camp will continue at the All-Star Game in Indy next winter.
I'm trying to bring it to the Caribbean. Wouldn't it be nice if we were in the Caribbean? I mean, everybody would want to show up.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Adam, we could do this. We could take it to the islands.
It's been a tremendous honor to be here with you all throughout the weekend at the Basketball Without Borders camp. My eyes has truly been open to see the amount of talent from all over the world. Mali, Egypt, Estonia, Canada, Australia, Lithuania. It's just been a treat. It's been an honor to be here all weekend long. It's been a pleasure to be with you, Donald, all weekend long. And we've got one more half of basketball, my friend.
Absolutely. 34 countries, and these guys have put on a performance here. 64, high school level players. This has been truly extraordinary, and so honored to be a part of it.
Driving down the right baseline, counted, and a foul for the young Canadian Charles Bediaku.
And Bediaku, what I like about that play, getting the hit and still having the presence of mind to get the ball in the basket, that's something as you get to be a more established player that has to become routine. And you see him learning that just from the first to the second half.
Kai Sotto inside. A whistle, and Sotto will head to the stripe. He's attending prep school outside of Atlanta, Georgia. He's a part of the 2020 recruiting class, being offered scholarships from some of the top universities across the United States. He's from the Philippines, and he's trying to be one of those first Filipinos to crack the NBA.
And I think he has the skill set to do it. I mean, you see him, he has a good touch inside, has a good presence on the post, and is looking for opportunities to shoot over the top when necessary. He's rebounding. So I think he has the package. Now it's a question of maturing into that role as he hit that free throw.
And his form at the free throw line as well, very natural for a skilled big man like Sotto. Step back three is off the mark for Mathrain as the Knicks trying to go on a run to make this a tighter second half of play. A strong one-handed cross-court pass to the Chinese for three. No, rebound. And we get a foul, and headed towards the line will be a man with basketball in his genes, no doubt about it. Augustas Marciulionis from Lithuania. His father experienced in the NBA, Basketball Hall of Famer in 2014, and he's trying to keep the tradition going in the Marciulionis family.
Talk about good pedigree, right? I mean, that's the second iteration, is having that legacy players where NBA players are now having kids that are now having an impact at the end, potentially not just at the high school and college level, but hopefully in the future the NBA level.
Marciulionis is currently playing in Lithuanian's second division. And he's handling the point for the Knicks. No-look pass towards the left wing. Stepping in for a catch-and-shoot three. Launching himself and draining the three is young 61 Augusto Cruz de Oliveira Casilla from Brazil. What a three for the young Brazilian who is really trying to make a name for himself as he made that three, wincing in pain a little bit just a second ago from the defensive end.
And as Badiagu got back to the line after having an inside shot earlier, got another opportunity to get fouled and go to the line to shoot one.
Cruz de Oliveira Casilla, Brazilian. He's being mentored by a fellow Brazilian and a Basketball Without Borders alum in Cristiano Felicia, who's on the Knicks bench, member of the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, this is an abundance of riches, having these players and having the people around them that is teaching them at the highest level of our sport. I can't tell you what a luxury that is to be learning from Vin Baker and all of these great players coming in, talking to you, sharing with you. Unbelievable.
When you think of a country like Brazil, soccer-rich nation, but for a guy like Casilla, nice behind-the-back pass, nearly getting the dunk, but what a block by the Brazilian Casilla. And a nice finger roll finish for Samuel Aribi, the Nigerian.
And Samuel Aribi, right place, right time, but an amazing block. The big men down low, they're fighting, they're competing. That's what you want to see.
Pass intended for Chu is stolen away, but stealing it right back is the young Frenchman, Bagarin, who will steal it and get the bucket.
And Bagarin, I mean, just an unbelievable talent. You could see the future for this young man is quite extraordinary. Very bright indeed.
Juan Bagarin was the MVP. Ooh, nice spin, pivot, finish off the left window for the Aussie, Tamri Wiggness.
And Tamri Wiggness, I just love the way he played because he's so fiery. He yields nothing. He competes on both ends of the floor. And that time you see him making very, very nice move.
Bagarin for a three, no. Wiggness with the rebound. Outlet pass was intended for 64 Perasovic. And on the other end, a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Wiggness.
And these guys are up in the ante for the last 10 minutes and 30 seconds here. We're seeing some high-quality basketball. Unreal. Love it.
I'm just looking back at the most recent alums from this Basketball Without Borders global camp. You think of Ernest Cantor from Turkey, Tomas Satoransky, Czech Republic, Pascal Siakam, who attended a small mid-major school here in North America, New Mexico State, now a superstar in the NBA. Lauri Markkanen from Finland. These aren't necessarily basketball hub nations. Excuse me while I kiss the sky, soaring like the Chicago skyscraper. Benedict Moraine.
I mean,
wow.
Benedict Moraine has been playing at an incredible clip. He is competing to be the best player in this camp, and he wants everybody to know it. There will be no doubt as to where he stands.
Everyone's still talking about that dunk. I'm looking to my left. George Miroslav still can't believe that dunk he just saw. Sensational. But as I was saying before the dunk, some of these countries where these alums come from aren't considered basketball hubs, but these guys are now stars in the NBA, and the future from these countries are seeing this and may want to pick up a basketball.
Indeed, and what you've seen as well, what a wonderful play. What you've seen as well is that, these guys are playing, but then when you have Pascal Siakam walking into the gym, that is incredible.
Back-to-back trips, showing you why he's a talented Frenchman and considered a highly touted recruit here in the United States. Juan Bagarin, the Frenchman, 17 years of age, was the MVP of the Basketball Without Borders European camp, and he's showing you why.
And Bagarin it's unreal. I mean, that quality of play, that intensity, going strong to the basket and getting there by any means necessary, really, really, really impressive.
5-point game, 8 minutes to go. We're in for an exciting finish, Adano. That is guaranteed.
There's no question about that. And these guys have earned the right to be on this stage, and they are playing. They're really having an impact. We have people behind us whispering, and they're saying the future of basketball is in good hands.
Catch and shoot three is off the mark for 51, Stefan Tudovic. Here come the Knicks in transition. And that hesitation on the pass resulted in a turnover for Luc van Slooten.
And what Luc is going to have to learn is that part of passing in the air is a very, very difficult thing because everybody's just as athletic. What you want to do, come down in the paint, really start using fakes and giving yourself an opportunity to get a completed pass. That play there gets you in a lot of trouble at any level.
Top side three is off the mark for Van Slooten. By Ocho. Working quickly in transition. Totudovic. Directing traffic, looking to go inside. And a reach and foul. It is going to be called on Luc van Slooten. And tension starting to flare here in this championship game.
They were kumbayaing for a moment, but now it's serious. Now it's winning time.
That's
so
right.
Now everybody's getting a little chippy down there because they want to win. And that's the thing about sports is that at the end of the game, it's all going to be good. But in the competition, in the heat of battle, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of I want this game more than you. I want to win. And I always love that. I love the competitiveness of when you come out there and say, you know what, I want to win. And there's nothing wrong with winning.
7 minutes to go in this championship game. Right wing three, off the mark, fighting for the rebound. A whistle and a foul, missing the three. A moment ago was Cheick Sao from Senegal. And stepping to the free throw line, Moussa Diabate from France.
And Diabate is really being aggressive down low, giving his team a lot of opportunities. You want to see that in a big man, but you want to see it with any player where you can go down low and really create impact for your team.
Whistle inside, a foul. And again, the big men showing you their quickness inside. Adama Sanogo from Mali.
And Sanogo is a big talent. I love his build. He really built like a football player in ways, but he has that body that as he grows into that body, he is going to be a beast in the paint. And he have the skill out in the pyramid as well. That combination and his body type, he's going to make some coach very, very happy.
5-point ball game. Ocho. Soft lob inside. Pass was intended for Diabate. And it will bounce out of play. It was last touched by the Knicks. Clock continues around 5:20 to go here in this final game of the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp here from Chicago. Whistle before the shot attempt. Tudovic is saying, oh, that was going to go in. What was the whistle for?
What was the whistle? Precious seconds off the clock. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Under 5 minutes to play. Bulls looking to close out the camp as winners. Ryocho for 3 off the front side of the iron. Intercepted by Ryocho. Good recognition. Looking to go 2 for 2. Gets the ball stolen away from him by Montero. Knicks on the other end. Catch and shoot. 3 left side. Well, short ball will bounce nearly out of play. Blake Jones missing it. The Aussie from Brisbane, Australia, a second ago. 39-34. 5-point lead for the Bulls. Ryocho. The Mexican took one dribble. Tudovic. Off a screen. Shot clock at 3. Tudovic for 3. Ring it up.
Oh, and the patience and the concentration on that shot. Really big time play.
Stefan Tudovic for 3 was a part of last summer's Basketball Without Borders European camp. Member of the Serbian national team.
And Jean Montero again giving himself an opportunity to go to the line and getting some easy basket. You got to love his ferocity in which he plays the game. Really competing at both ends of the floor. That's really the hallmark of what you want to see in a young player.
An alum of the NBA Latin American Academy. 42-37, Bulls with the lead as the clock continues to wind down. Just over 3 minutes to go. Here in this appetizer before the NBA All-Star game begins.
The buffet.
That's right.
There's a buffet later. And after the dunk competition tonight, we're in for a whole lot. There's rule changes tonight for the All-Star game. I think it's going to be quite an extraordinary night.
Tudovic, the Serbian, met with a double team and traveled the ball. The traveling violation gives the ball right back to the Knicks as they want to keep the pressure on the Bulls. They're down 42-37. And the officials at the scorer's table. Clock stopped momentarily. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Now some house cleaning issues between the officials. (42-37) is our score as we conclude our final game of the weekend here in Chicago. The Knicks will have possession. They'll have to go the full length of the floor. They're inbounding right in front of their bench. Jean Montero, left-handed dribble. Montero galloping towards the lane. Chu, back to Montero. 8 on the shot clock. Montero deep 3, circles in. The Dominican one-on-one with a Mexican, and Jean Montero sinks the 3.
And Montero has kind of been developing right in front of our eyes. We see him really rushing things a little bit early in this game to calming himself down and finding the right pace of the game in which he could be effective.
Oh my, the runner is good along the right baseline. Count it for the young Mexican Esteban Roacho. No, Roacho was in the left wing, curled around down the baseline and got the runner with the right hand.
Saying, you know what? Yeah, I could do this too. I got skilled. No, that was amazing. And a very difficult shot from nits to impossible angles. He didn't have the opportunity to use the glass as much. He had to get that ball straight in. Very difficult.
5-point ball game. Final 90 seconds at our final game of the weekend here from Chicago. Left-handed finish. What a move by Sonogo.
Sonogo, I like that move. Went into the paint and take a little extra step and getting that nice finish over the top. Oh.
Big possession for the Knicks. Trying to get a defensive stop, Mothane, as we hit the 1 minute mark. Handing it off. Abante. Oh, what a steal. Good job defensively by Sonogo. And a critical possession to tie this game up.
And Sonogo has such quick feet. You want to see that in your big man, being able to defend out in the perimeter.
Corner three for Von Sluten. No. Rebound through two defenders. And we've got a one-point game. Adama Sonogo, who's playing his high school basketball in New Jersey. Top 50 player in the United States. He is showing you why.
Sonogo, I mean, being able to go out on the perimeter as a big man and defend, moving your feet, going into the corner, seeing an opportunity to trap, taking it, and then getting back up here, getting an offensive rebound, and putting it in over three people. Man, the future is good for basketball, don't you think?
Oh, without a doubt. The future is bright. The game is going to continue to grow. I wouldn't be surprised, Donald, in 5 to 10 years if we see an NBA team all starting five from players from overseas with a head coach who's from overseas. I mean, we're trending towards that trajectory.
There is no question. When you look at the rising stars and you look at how these guys, and they're starting to have teams competing even here at the All-Star Weekend, you're seeing the imprints of that. You're seeing the imprints of players that are not – they're defining themselves on the larger stage. You know, I got a chance to play with some great players from overseas, and you're seeing that more and more in younger players. Like Dirk Nowitzki, he took a long time to get to that level, but then you see the next iteration of him in Luka coming
out.
in.
Oh, my goodness. Excuse me while I kiss the sky again. A monster jam. Benedict Mothrain, the oohs and ahs from the crowd at Quest Multisport after the jam. Mothrain on the floor, gets up, and you hear the applause from the crowd at Quest Multisport. What a jam.
Holy moly, that is some explosiveness. And the poor rim is still crying, and he took a spill. But I'm telling you, that spill doesn't hurt as much because you finished that dunk than if you didn't.
Sensational from the right wing again. Two dribbles inside, flying high to get the completed dunk.
That was extraordinary. And this young man is saying, I am the MVP of this tournament. Please give me my trophy.
Benedict Mothrain, you heard the reaction from the crowd, appreciating what this young Canadian just did a moment ago.
Benedict Mothrain has really made a name for himself and has been playing at an elite level here all weekend. We've seen him miss some shots. Today he has put it all together, and he has been performing at a very high level.
He's
quite impressive.
Still wincing in a little bit of pain after the dunk, but as you say, that pain well earned.
Well earned.
Enjoy it more after.
Indeed.
After that. After he looks back at the replay and saying, that was pretty good.
When his friends start calling him later and texting him,
right.
telling him, oh, my goodness, he would say, I don't feel as much pain.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Luke Von Sluten at the free throw line. It's a 3-point ball game with 27 seconds left. And Von Sluten makes the second free throw. And now we've got a 1-point affair. 2 free throws converted for Von Sluten. And back to a pressure situation with 27.6 seconds left. They actually changed the score once again, so it's 47-45. We'll get that confirmed. But 2-point game, another big possession coming up. What a finish to this camp. Sensational stuff we're seeing from both teams.
I don't think anybody in here is bold, and I think a lot of people are taking notes because they're seeing a future that is quite extraordinary. They're seeing players that have tremendous upside. They're seeing high-quality basketball. I mean, this is unbelievable to see these guys take this stage, this big stage with everybody watching, taking notes, make an impact, and play at this higher level. Quite impressive.
They're making alumnus proud from Basketball Without Borders like Jonas Valanciunas, Gorge Pataze, Andre Drummond. all three have something in common: high draft picks in the NBA draft. 2-point game, a big possession here for the Bulls. They're up 47-45. Mahrain guarded by another big prospect in Bagaren. It's the matchup you want to see. Two top players going one-on-one in a critical juncture of the game. Mahrain's going to let the clock dribble. 3 on the shot clock. Mahrain, a late whistle, and they're going to give the foul with 4.2 seconds to go.
Well, the opportunity now to go to the free throw line and make some big free throws. That is part of this game, and why should the end of the game be any different?
So 2 free throws coming up for Benedict Mahrain, and he missed the first. That's a pressure free throw.
That's a pressure free throw, and that's why these moments are important, because you want to be able to practice to go to the line, collect your nerve, take a deep breath. I mean, you just have an extraordinary play, and the free throw is such a boring endeavor, yet it's a lot of pressure when the game is on the line. Really taking a breath, relax, and embracing the moment.
Mahrain's second free throw. It's up. It's off the mark. Loose ball. It's recovered by the Bulls. A quick foul. The Knicks needed that defensive board to call a quick timeout to set up a final play. Instead, the Bulls, with 0.8 of a second left, are on the verge of being Basketball Without Borders Global Camp champs for 2020.
Very exciting stuff.
Wigness at the free throw line, a man who's played in some big games already in his young career, represented Australia in the under-17 and under-19 FIBA World Cups.
That is a resume for a young man that is still coming into his own and continue to show why he belongs on this floor.
Half-court prayer for Bagaren was off the mark, and you can see the expression on these young players. The Bulls are the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp men's champs. That expression says it all. They're walking away from a great weekend of hard work as champions.
And why not? I mean, this is a really great opportunity for them to showcase their skill. They get to